Hello everyone and welcome back to my factory showcase series. What we're looking at right now is the beautiful sunrise on probably my most important build that I have so far. That's right, it's the empty fluid tanks and the canister facility. Let's go take a look. Alright, so let's take a look at our production planner. Once again, this is the Satisfactory Modular. It's free to download on Steam. Check out my card up here for my how-to guide to get a jump start with the program. So we're going to take our 870 crude oil down here and make that into polymer resin using the alternate recipe. The heavy oil residue, 80 of that's going to be making our petroleum coke. It's going to be going into our electrode scrap. I'll get to that in a second. The other 210 is going into our diluted fuel. But the main component we want out of this, the polymer resin, that 1800 is going to be made in plastic in 13 refineries. So we're going to bring over some water to do that. Then that's going to be made into our empty canisters. Now 836.67 of those are going to be going into our dimensional depot or our drone ports for future use. Now the other 420 is going to be going into that diluted fuel, so that way our drones have fuel to go and pick up the bauxite, which is nowhere near the build. So you could ship this in any way you want with trucks, trains, tractors, belts, but I chose to use drones to bring it in. So drones are going to be bringing 600 of that, and we're going to have 600 water also coming in, making our sloppy alumina alternate recipe that's just at 100% overclock speed. Then we're going to be using the electrode scrap alternate recipe, which uses petroleum coke and that alumina solution. That's going to be 3 refineries at 133.5%. So that's going to make our aluminum scrap, and the 420 recycled water there as a byproduct is going to be going into our diluted fuel. So it gets rid of that without having to mix, merge, line up, put back into the original. It's going to be much easier to do it this way to deal with this byproduct. Now that 1200 aluminum scrap is going to be made into aluminum ingots, and those are going to be made into our empty fluid tanks in 4 constructors at 250%. Now those are going to remain empty and go up top to our drone ports. I'm going to start off this by getting a big aerial view of the factory. And if we look at our map, it's going to be right here at about coordinates 1692, -900. However, we need water, and out here in the desert, there's really none around except for way back here. So way back here, you're going to find a resource well for water. You throw the resource well pressurizer on it like this, and then down below you have all of these different nodes. So pure water nodes will tell you exactly the extraction speed you're looking at, and I like to put fluid buffers on them because this water was going to be traveling quite a long way. So each one of these has a fluid buffer on it. It looks super messy down here, and I'm okay with it because it's all hidden. And then I have valves here and all these junctions to combine them into 3 pipes. Now each one of those pipes comes out of the side here, goes down, winds around this rock, and comes all the way across our bridge here. So then that water is going to drop all the way down into our factory. So it drops down into the bottom, and then it comes up top to go into some more fluid buffers, and then back down. Of course, over here we have our priority power switch, which would allow us to turn this on and off if we needed. So these first refineries all here on the left are going to be making our plastic. These ones are going to be making our polymer resin on the right. This is one of our oil nodes down here. And then in the back here is where we have our aluminum setup. So the reason why I went with sloppy alumina and then the electrode alumina is because I can make the petroleum coke here, and also the ratios work out really well. I mean, you can tell there's no merging, there's no nothing, just, alumina solution going right into the next refinery, which makes it super easy. It also makes it really easy on the back end here. You just split the middle one up and everything's already load balanced to go into our smelters. This is our petroleum coke machine. We just have one of those carrying away. And then back here we have all of our constructors making our plastic, which is great. And then these constructors here are making our empty fluid tanks, another oil extractor, our two blenders here making our diluted fuel, and then our packagers go ahead and packaging all that up and sending it upstairs. So if we go over here and take our catwalk up, we have all of our drone ports. So this drone port here is bringing in all of the bauxite. Then I have two set up on this side with empty canisters outgoing. So I set these up as PP, passive producer, and any drone can come in here and grab some canisters if I need it to. Same thing with the empty fluid tanks. The drone can just pop right in here, grab a load of empty fluid tanks and be on its way. And then of course everything is getting put into an awesome sink with overflow tabs to make sure my dimensional depots are full at all times. I hope you enjoyed the build. This is probably one of my most important builds for the future because everything from now on, all the fluids are going to be packaged and shipped other places. Thank you for coming. I'll see you on the next one.